Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to go ahead and just show you my first bioactive setup for my Crested Gecko. This is my first one. I'll go ahead and start from the top here. I didn't film the build because I really was not that confident that it was all going to work. And it was my first time and I certainly made a lot of mistakes right away. I went a little more complicated than I probably should have for it being a first build. Fortunately, I think everything turned out great, and it's been doing fine. Everything seems to have been cycling wonderfully. It's been about, I'd say, 5 weeks since we did the build, and it seems to be fine. It smells really nice and earthy in there. Haven't found any mold or anything like that, so. But again, I really wasn't that confident, and some of the stuff that I did was kind of just guessing, and I really didn't want to give out the wrong information. I'll go ahead and start at the top here, and I've got an LED light here that's on a timer, and I've got a UVB light. And before anybody loses their shirt, I do realize that Crested Geckos do not need UVB light. However, I've done some reading, I've done some research, and they can certainly benefit from it. So this is the lowest level bulb that you can buy, and it's actually on a timer that goes on for only about 6 hours a day, usually from about, I think, what is the time? It goes on at noon, and it'll go off at about 5 p.m. So it's only on for a temporary time. I'm kind of just experimenting with it to see what happens. I know that people have had observed their geckos actually basking in it, so I did provide some areas up there for him to bask if he wanted to, and we'll see what happens. I also have the Exoterra thermometer humidifier, which is really great to have, and this is also the Exoterra mini dome, which is the 11, I believe it's 11.5-inch dome with a Pangea UV light, or the light I got from Pangea. I will, as usual, have links in the description of everything that I used in this build. I'm gonna go ahead and open it here. Now, I'm not really familiar with plants. I am not a plant person. I am definitely more of an animal person. So I'm gonna try to name some of these plants. I'm not really completely sure. All right, cool. So this one up here was a philodendra. This has been doing awesome. It's actually gotten like 3 more giant leaves that have popped out, which is really great, and I'm hoping that it will withstand some jumping on from the gecko. Croton plant does really awesome, and I really like that it adds some color. It will eventually grow out of this vivarium, so I will have to find a different spot for it. There is actually 2 plants there, so most likely I'll just end up taking one, which will be cool. The fern, oops, sorry about the camera, guys. Fern down here is, I believe it is a whitefoot rabbit fern. It's actually, or a whitefoot rabbit fern? Wait, yeah. It's actually not doing too well. I had a different plant in there originally, right over in that spot, that also didn't do very well. So I'm gonna make sure I give it some tender loving care, and we'll see if it gets a little bit better. And if it doesn't, I'll just pull it out and we'll maybe add an extra hide over there. Got the little coconut hide there, which will also serve as a nice humid hide when it is winter here, because it gets mighty dry in the winter here in Minnesota. And then we've of course got the bromeliad, which is doing awesome. And I think that's kind of a signature plant, a signature must-have for any tropical vivarium. And down here, we've got this guy who is slowly taking over the entire ground of the vivarium, which I kind of like. See him in there. I believe that's called a pepromia. If I'm not saying that correctly, please let me know in the comments. Again, I'm not a plant person. My tactic with plants is pretty much make sure that they're suitable for my animal, and in which case I actually will get them from a local pet store, Twin City Reptiles, that sells them in bunches, and they're not even labeled. So I know that they're animal safe when I get them. I just have no idea what they are. And my tactic really is just put them in and see if it works or not. Provide them with light and plenty of water and see if it works. That's pretty much my tactic. So down here we got some cork bark. I've got another cork bark hide here, which I'm hoping he will utilize. He does really like his ground hide in his bin right now. And as far as the substrate, I got this substrate pre-made from a company called the Biodude, which I do highly recommend. There is another company that makes pre-made substrate, which I believe is New England Herp. I will put the links to both of those in the description. One thing that I did not do with this tank that was a big mistake is when I was putting it together, I was in a hurry, and I did not put the screen barrier between the drainage layer and the substrate. Fortunately, this Biodude product, which I honestly forget what it's called, does not require a screen barrier, which is great. However, we'll see what happens in the future. If all worse comes to worse, I'll just pull out the substrate and redo it. I also have springtails and isopods in there. They're doing well. I do kind of pick them up and check. I don't know if you can see any in there. Oops, sorry. I don't know if you can see any. Oh, I see some. I don't know if the camera's going to pick up those tiny little guys, but they've been doing great. I've got white dwarf mini isopods in there. Isopods kind of freak me out, so I just prefer the white, the smaller ones, the dwarf ones. But that is it right there. It is in a 12 by 12 by 18 Exoterra, and over here is my power center. This side is all timed. This side is constant. Now, eventually, I will be hooking up 2 more vivariums to this, and so the LED lights will be on the timer. And the ones that I'm making for this, I already have the tanks will actually be converted aquariums, so they will not need the UVB light because it does not go through glass. So that'll be hooked up. That'll all be hooked up together on this nice timer. This one I got off of Amazon. It was actually decently priced. I think it was about $20 to $25, which is cheaper than the Zilla Power Center. This one also has a surge protector, which is kind of important over here where we have many thunderstorms and sometimes very close lightning. That can be a problem. This side again is all on the timer, and this side is all on the continuous. This is an LED light that actually goes down to the tarantula down there that we just kind of have on for observational purposes. It's just a little strip. She doesn't really need it. And then the UVB light is connected to another timer that's actually down there in the plug. So they're actually on separate timers. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put my new little gecko in there. He's ready to go. All right, buddy. So one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this fake branch that it was actually cleaned yesterday. And I'm gonna put it here because I want to add just a little more coverage for him or her. Actually, I'm not even sure if he's a boy or a girl yet, but a little more coverage for her or him right away. And plus he's familiar with this plant. That might give him a little more sense of security. The bromeliads are awesome because they also serve as a little water dish. They collect water in their leaves, and they can also be a source of water for your reptile, which is nice. Hey, buddy. You are in the little hide. Okay. Good. And again, he's been in quarantine, hey, maybe, for, I'm going to say 5 weeks now, which is a little bit long, or in the bin. I wanted him to get some weight on him. He's now 12. I got him at 7 grams. He's now 12 grams. I'm just throw him in there, let him, good boy. And I think he's going to be in shed here pretty soon. He is an extreme harlequin that I got this year. I'm super excited about him. He's going to make super beautiful babies when I find him a perfect girlfriend. Yeah, you are going to shed, buddy. Oop. Just hold my hand here and wait till he comes off on his own. And then I'm actually going to, I'm actually going to shut all the lights off in the vivarium and let him kind of settle and get himself settled. Yeah. Oop. All right. And let him kind of hang out tonight in the dark. And hopefully he'll do well. I just weighed him yesterday. He had a giant meal yesterday, crickets and prepared diet, so I'm not super concerned about him losing a little bit of weight, which he might right away in his new enclosure. We'll see how he does. He looks good in there. All right, thank you for watching this video, guys. It was really fun to make this vivarium, and I will be doing a second one. I probably will not do a build. I might. We'll see. Do a build on the second one. Again, I really want to get my technique down and make sure that I'm giving everybody the right information. So again, thanks for watching. I'm gonna hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will be doing an update video on this little guy soon. And have a great day, guys. Bye.